Caitlin Clark-Samaria has turned down a chance to participate in the NBA All-Star Game three-point shooting contest, stating that she wants her first three-point contest appearance to be in the WNBA All-Star Game in India.
Caitlin Clark finds herself at the center of yet another heated debate, this time over the NBA All-Star festivities. The rising WNBA star made waves by turning down an exclusive NBA invitation, a decision that has divided the basketball world. While some celebrate the recognition, others argue it was never warranted in the first place. But the controversy doesn't end there. Clark's new team, the Indiana Fever, is being touted as the fourth best squad in the WNBA, a ranking that has many die-hard fans raising eyebrows. Even WNBA star Napheesa Collier has chimed in, acknowledging the excitement Clark brings while questioning why the reigning champions aren't receiving the same level of attention. So, what's really at play here? Is this all about Caitlin Clark's undeniable star power, or is the WNBA failing to give its established greats their due credit? With Clark opting out of the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend's three-point contest, where she would have faced off against Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, the discussion around her influence in basketball is only growing louder.
He needed that. I think she might get him, man. I think she might get him. He's got to be a little bit perfect now. His money rockets.
Initially, most media members applauded Clark's decision, especially since she stated her intention to make her All-Star competition debut at the 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend. With the event set to take place on her home court, Clark's choice is seen as a strategic move to elevate the WNBA and bring more attention to the league.
In Indiana later this year.
I think it's commendable, honestly, because we already know that the NBA All-Star Game is going to get all of these eyes, all these people watching. If she's able to get Steph Curry or LaMelo Ball or any of these other guys that are really shooting right now at a high level to come and compete against her in the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest thing. That's all anybody's going to be talking about. So like I said, I think it's a great move for her because at the end of the day, what's important to her is...
Who do you have winning the three-point shootout, Steph or Sabrina?
Sabrina.
Team Sabrina.
I'm taking the underdog.
Okay.
Sabrina.
Love that.
I have to go with Steph. I think he'll get it. I think I said Sabrina earlier, so I'm gonna stay with Sabrina.
As much as I love Sabrina, I gotta go with Steph.
I go with Steph.
Steph.
I go with Steph because I've seen Steph. You know what I mean? I'm go with Steph.
I probably have Steph, but I'm not gonna doubt Sabrina.
I don't care about that.
However, on February 13th, news broke that there will be no rematch of the highly anticipated Curry versus Ionescu three-point competition that stole the show at the 2024 NBA All-Star Weekend. Some speculate that this decision was influenced by Clark's choice to decline the invitation, adding even more intrigue to the ongoing debate.
Just announced that the NBA WNBA shootout with Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu is off. NBA's Mike Bass said, "We weren't able to land on a plan we thought would raise the bar off of last season's special moment. We all agreed not to proceed, and we will keep the focus on All-Star Sunday's new format." When I first saw this, and this kind of plays into Unrivaled as well, if you guys remember when Sabrina Ionescu signed up for Unrivaled, she said that one of the biggest things and the qualities about Unrivaled that she really...
Fox Sports host Rob Parker didn't hold back, arguing that Clark's absence took the excitement out of the event and diminished its appeal.
There's one person and one person only who has ruined NBA All-Star Weekend.
Who that?
And that's Caitlin Clark.
Fox Sports broadcaster Rob Parker is making it clear that he holds Caitlin Clark accountable for the fallout. On an episode of The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, Parker criticized Clark's decision, calling it a missed opportunity to boost television ratings and deliver an unforgettable showdown for fans. He went further, suggesting that Clark owed the NBA a favor, given the league's long-standing support of the WNBA. How can she say no when the WNBA wouldn't even exist without the NBA? Parker argued, insisting that the least Clark could have done was to show up in solidarity with her brothers in the NBA. Clark's representatives have yet to respond to Parker's remarks, but his comments have fueled an ongoing debate about the expectations placed on athletes and the external pressures they face from both the media and fans. With NBA All-Star Weekend approaching, the controversy surrounding Clark's decision continues to make waves, underscoring the delicate balance between personal priorities and professional commitments in the world of sports. But that's just the beginning. While the New York Liberty are still celebrating their first ever WNBA championship, ESPN has already turned its attention to the future. The network recently released its way too early power rankings for the 2025 season, sparking fresh discussion about the league's landscape for the year ahead.
All right, this was some diabolical work. Let me first say that list content and ranking content is an easy way to get engagement. Obviously, it's a tried old trick and tactic, and there's nothing wrong with it, especially around, events, tentpoles. I mean, you could do it at any time, but it makes sense with March Madness going around that someone would rank the greatest women's college basketball players of all time.
The rankings place the newly crowned New York Liberty at the top of the list, recognizing their historic championship win. Last season's runners-up, the Minnesota Lynx, secured the second spot, while the Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back champions in 2023 and 2024, landed in third. The placement of the Aces has raised some eyebrows, as many believe their dominance over the past 2 seasons should have earned them a higher ranking.
My Fly Happy family, it's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. ESPN just dropped who they think are going to be ranked where for this season coming up. And man, when I say this list is ridiculous, man, we're about to get all the way.
But the real controversy begins with the 4th spot. ESPN's decision to rank Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever as the 4th best team in the league for the upcoming season has sparked intense debate. Many fans and analysts question whether the Fever, who struggled last season, truly deserve such a high ranking, or if Clark's star power is influencing the hype.
With where somebody ranks somebody, either that's up to the ranker, and that's going to get you the rancor of, some of the fans, which is part of the point in the first place, is to stir up debate and get people wondering who should be ahead of who and why you put somebody too high on the list and all that. But ESPN had this list of the greatest women's college basketball players of all time, as I just alluded to. And the way they presented it was something.
The reaction was swift. An account by the name I Talk Hoops shared the rankings on X, sparking a wave of fan responses, many of them critical. For the most part, X users weren't pleased with how highly Clark and the Fever were ranked. One reaction read, "Way too early, but Indiana over Connecticut is laughable." Another fan chimed in, "Indiana isn't climbing into the top 4 next season unless that whistle keeps going." The skepticism highlights a growing debate. Is the Fever's ranking a fair assessment of their potential, or is it more about the hype surrounding Caitlin Clark?
The video, the thumbnail of the video, and the title is presented like this. Is Caitlin Clark the greatest of all time in college basketball? So clearly using Caitlin Clark's name to drive it, knowing that Caitlin Clark is the biggest needle mover. Obviously, nobody knows that better than me. And I'm expecting to see where Caitlin Clark ranks on the list if I see that specific title. The issue is, not only is Caitlin Clark not even really on their list, she got removed from the list in the process while they were talking through.
The tough streets of X aren't holding back their criticism of Clark and the Fever. After all, this is a team coming off its first playoff appearance since 2016, and much of the hype stems from Clark's electrifying rookie campaign. While there's no denying her impact, many fans remain unconvinced that Indiana deserves to be ranked as the 4th best team in the league. Clark and the Fever are good, but according to most WNBA supporters, they're not that good. Just as it seemed the debate was settling down, the WNBA's latest announcement reignited the controversy, adding even more fuel to the fire. Following a 2024 season filled with thrilling basketball and unforgettable performances, the WNBA is riding a wave of momentum. Now, the league has officially unveiled its national broadcast schedule for the 2025 season, further amplifying discussions about the Fever's prominence and the league's evolving landscape.
With y'all, but let's get into the full ranking, all right? So they have Asia at 1. Now, I don't think that's right. Okay, I don't feel like she has a higher chance than Caitlin and Fee. I'm not gonna lie. She now has Jewel Lloyd on her team. The possession of the ball is gonna be split big time between Jewel and Asia now. That's how I'm seeing it. Although she has help down there.
With all the excitement surrounding player movement this winter through free agency and trades, the WNBA's broadcast and streaming partners for 2025 are set to shine a spotlight on the league's superstars, rising stars, and must-see matchups like never before. Fans can expect even more high-profile games and increased visibility, showcasing the best of what the WNBA has to offer.
Broadcast this season, ooh-wee, big-time doubleheader. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they meet in the season opener. And then you have ring night for Brianna Stewart and the Liberty, seeing them host the three-time MVP Asia Wilson and the new-look Aces. But with such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
And Clark and the Fever will have an impressive 41 of their 44 games featured on national television broadcasts or streams throughout the 2025 season, ensuring that the team's high-profile matchups and star power are front and center for fans across the country.
Quickly in sports, to get people to watch, you need rivalries, you need household names, you need games of consequence. That's why March Madness is so popular, because every game is survive and advance. And that's why playoffs are so popular. Every game has a game of consequence. And then when you build these household names, I mean, for many years, people followed the WNBA, not a player or a team. And now we have this opportunity to build rivalries, so they're following teams and players, not just the league, because it's the right thing to do, because we're a women's sports league, so it's changed.
How are you looking now at expanding?
Clark took over the basketball world 2 seasons ago when she was a member of the Iowa Hawkeyes, quickly becoming one of the most talked about players in college basketball with her electrifying performances and unmatched scoring ability.
Broadcast this season, ooh-wee, big-time doubleheader. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they meet in the season opener. And then you have ring night for Brianna Stewart and the Liberty, seeing them host the three-time MVP Asia Wilson and the new-look Aces. But with such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 30.
Last season, the Fever played 36 of their 40 games on national television, a significant showcase of their growing prominence. This season, the WNBA is expanding its game coverage even further, and it's no surprise that 6 different WNBA television partners set viewership records for their highest ever WNBA ratings, all of which featured Fever games. This surge in attention underscores the increasing spotlight on the league and the Fever's central role in that spotlight.
Incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in Fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great.
2024 season was arguably the best ever for the WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert shared her thoughts on the last season and what is to come in 2025.
Fans traveling almost 9,000 miles to get here.
The incoming fans, I value who they were and what they try to bring to our group and bring to the city of Indianapolis.
They have sold out every game they've played in this year except
on the clock 3 years ago. What you said then compared to what you would say now.
Yeah, again, we were in a very different place 3 years ago. I think the quality of the game was there, but the marketing wasn't there. The dollars and everything that it takes to get a national exposure. And I think our broadcast partners like ESPN have stepped up in a huge way. Our marketing partners, our corporate partners, we've done great from a revenue perspective there. Maybe we weren't ready for this moment, but that's why we raised that capital. We came off the pandemic year, which was tough for us because that was a pretty existential time for this league to either survive or go away. And we survived and now we're thriving. And so 3 years ago, I would have said something very different about where we were. Today, I can talk to the players about how we've moved from survive to thrive, and wasn't sure we were going to make it back in that pandemic year. Now I think we're in a much better place. The players know it, and now they come in with these big brands and a lot of excitement.